My name is Jody Fath, and I'm currently the alumni coordinator here at NAIT. But prior to that, I spent about a good 11 months traveling around the world. You really want to determine what type of traveler you are, if you need structure or if you feel confident doing things on your own. The other thing that you have to think about is when you're traveling in a country that has a completely different culture, if you're on a bus on a back road somewhere and it breaks down, whether you're going to be the person who tries to strike up a conversation with a resident from the country and maybe pull out a pack of cards and start to play, or the person who gets frustrated and is wanting to get off the bus and can't understand why you get a flat tire every 2 kilometers. You really need to know what your limits are and figure that out before you go, because if you choose the wrong type of trip for yourself, you're not going to enjoy it. You really have to determine what locations you're going to. Certain countries are going to cost a lot less than others. There's a lot of really great websites with travel websites with spendometers, and you can put in which country you're going to, and it populates the cost of living for a day, and you can multiply it out by the number of days you're planning to be there. The other thing with budgeting is a lot of people just look at flight tickets, maybe some accommodations, but where people lose sight of their budgeting is that transportation during the day. If you're going to take the subway, or you have to take a cab, or you have to rent a car. If you want to go into a museum, it's going to cost you a certain amount of money. Eating out versus buying food and taking it back to your hostel and cooking. There's a lot of pre-planning items to do in there and things to think about before you go that can save you a lot of money in the long run. There's some really important things such as vaccinations. That's one thing. Edmonton has a traveler's clinic. You need to go there and let them know where you're traveling to, and they'll recommend the best vaccinations. A couple of things to remember about vaccinations is that they can be really costly, and as well sometimes you have to go back more than once. So you need to plan ahead, and instead of trying to do it 2 days before your trip, because it might not work out. Second thing with vaccinations is some of them require actual documentation when you enter the country, so you need to make sure you have that with you as well. Some other things for pre-planning would definitely be insurance. Depending on where you go, that will depend on how much your insurance premiums are going to cost. As well, if you're doing any sort of extreme sports, you'll want to look into different types of insurance, because certain extreme sports that you may participate in, if you're injured, your insurance may be null and void. So it's one thing to definitely investigate. I think the 2 main things you want to look at are functionality and durability. I carried this backpack for about 11 months, and it was both functional and durable. The great thing about this pack is that the small bag comes off and you can use it as a day pack. The other portion of the bag you can leave at your hostel or hotel during the day. This bag also comes with a shoulder strap that's detachable, so if you're tired of carrying your backpack on your back, you can carry it on your shoulder. As well, it's got a great feature at the back where all of the straps can be stored away. So when you're at the airport and you're going through the baggage check, putting your bag on, you don't have all of the bits and pieces hanging off, getting caught everywhere. All you have to do is zip up the back to cover it. I think the other thing you want to remember in selecting a backpack is that the bigger you get, the more items you're going to carry, and the heavier it is on your back. If you can go smaller, pack less, it's going to save you in the long run, because it's going to get too heavy and you're going to get tired of carrying everything around. If you're buying souvenirs, it's easier to ship them home than to carry them around with you for weeks or months on end. Packing, depending on climate you're going to, it's best to pack layers instead of bulky fleece items. So shirts that are really light, Cool Max or Under Armour, things like that, that dry really quickly as well. You might be doing laundry in your sink and then hanging it up in your room at night to dry. They also pack up really tiny, and folding versus rolling. Rolling is always better. Your items don't usually wrinkle as bad, and they pack up a lot smaller. Clothing also, you probably only want to take a maximum of 2 pairs of shoes, a good pair of hiking or running shoes, and then typically flip-flops or some kind of sandals to go with. If you start packing too many shoes, your bag gets heavier and heavier. Another good thing to take along with you is a microfiber towel. They pack up small. They're a different type of material and they dry really quickly, so they're great to have along as well. A headlamp is definitely a must when you're traveling. It's small, compact, provides good light, and it keeps your hands free for sure. Another thing that we really liked that we took was water purification tablets, so that you don't have to spend a lot of money buying bottled water all the time. You can just actually drink the tap water after purifying it with the tablets. And our last favorite item was our very own fork, knife, and spoon set, because we use this a lot. Just saves time when you're traveling. If you go to a grocery store and buy something, you can eat it out of a can on a bus or something like that. It's good to have along with you.